Oh geez. It's not what you think. I was taking the initiative. Yeah. This is Drunken Robot Pornography. Yeah. But it's not what you think. It's made by the indie company Dejobaan Games, well known for games like Drop That Beat Like an Ugly Baby and A Reckless Disregard for Gravity. They come up with some rather interesting names for their products. I'm not too familiar with their other games, but what I can tell you is Drunken Robot Pornography Drunken Robot Pornography is a game still in its alpha stage, and it's available through Steam's Early Access feature. Let's take a look. This is a fast-paced first-person shooter that tries to combine elements of bullet hell shooters like the Toho project. You go through a number of levels avoiding enemies, lasers, projectiles, and just killing everything you see. The Titans are the big bosses you have to deal with. They don't have a life bar, but you take them apart piece by piece, so you can gauge their health this way. The power-ups around the level are essentially what you use to get through the game. They're temporary upgrades to your weapon, and they have very limited ammo. You don't select which one you use. When you fire your weapon, everything you have is expended, but the power-ups are combined together. Without the power-ups, you have this slower single-shot weapon. Pick up the rapid fire, triple fire, splinter, heavy fire, you have this massive rapid firing spread shot. It's used up very quickly, so you have to constantly pick up more power-ups. You have a jetpack to move from one platform to the next, but it's very limited, so for the most part, I use it for large hops. You have to keep moving, and you have to keep your speed as much as possible, so I use the jetpack whenever I can. If you've played Quake Live or Tribes, you'll understand what I mean. Map control is really a non-issue here, but you still have to collect the power-ups as much as possible. The sooner you collect them, the sooner they respawn, so you can collect them again. At the same time though, it's missing the rocket and strafe jumping of Quake Live and the skiing from Tribes, so you have to make do without those mechanics. The level progression is done through a branch selection model. You can choose the next level or change a path and see what the other options are. In some places, you get a dialogue screen to choose stuff, though I have no idea what sort of impact this will have on you. You also come across some minigames, which, again, I have no idea the impact this has on you, but it's still amusing. That's really all this game has. Kill stuff, collect the power-ups, kill some more, and then move on. It's a very simple game, and for me, personally, it's surprisingly addictive. And it even has a built-in level editor and a Titan editor, so anyone can create and share some new content right off the bat through the Steam Workshop. There's not a whole lot of content at the moment, but as far as I can tell, the game is very stable. I've come across no bugs when I played this, but I'm sure they exist somewhere. But again, it's still in alpha. The game is far from being complete, but in its current state, how will this do in the market? For the next few weeks, the game will be getting more players and just more overall exposure. I mean, the game is called Drunken Robot Pornography. This gets people's attention, and that's just the first step. Have a title that attracts people, make them curious, so of course people will check the game out when they come across it. This current version already has coverage by the likes of Giant Bomb, Destructoid, and Lazy Game Reviews. In fact, LGR is the reason I heard of this game in the first place, so shout out to him. I only see Let's Plays from a couple people, and at this stage in development, I don't expect any more. There's too little content to really be worth the time. Its long-term presence will be much more substantial. According to the Steam forums for the game, the developer is focusing on the single-player campaign first and foremost. They're considering expanding the modability and even a multiplayer feature. I would love to see a multiplayer mode, but in this case, I don't want a PvP. The power-ups wouldn't set the game up for a proper 1v1 duel or a team deathmatch. This game would be perfect for co-op. A 4-player co-op mode would be so sick. And once they do put out more content for the single-player campaign, then we'll see more Let's Plays. I don't think the game will be finished within this time period, but I would expect the single-player campaign to be done by this time. Overall, Drunken Robot Pornography has the potential to be an amazing game for co-op. It doesn't have a deep, 10-hour-long story, but I feel the game can be set up for a 1 or 2 hour session with your friends. I found its current offerings to be a bit too easy, but this can change. As long as they stick to the formula and get their name out the door, Dejobaan Games will do well for themselves in the market. Early access is $10. I wouldn't recommend this if you're just casually looking for something to play. However, I will recommend this if you're the type who wants to support the development of new software, giving feedback, and just being a part of making something real. Check back in a few months when we follow up on this game. Thanks for watching!